there has been a lot of noise around.
Have dominated the world, have used money to rule it, and have ruled it in their own interest. It looks at a world economic system that has no regard for the poor, that has no regard for the small nations, that has no regard for the poor of the small nations.
Yeah, the counts.
And the policy is a dignified policy, it's not a violent policy, it's not a policy of guns. It's a very honorable policy, but it is a very clear policy. It is a policy that calls the poor of the world to stand together, to stand firm together, to struggle together, to struggle for change, to struggle for justice, to struggle through organization, to struggle through will, to struggle through determination, to struggle to build a new kind of world in which your children and mine will walk with more dignity, with better housing, with better opportunity, with better prices, with better response from the World Monetary System. That is the world to which I call you. That is the world for which I struggle, and no power will turn me back from that world. And comrades, if you go and walk with me, if you go and step with me, if you go and move with me, we're moving as warriors. We're moving in determination. We're moving to struggle. We're moving to change that world. No power will turn us back.
Me ever fresh, me no green.
Me coulda never green, dog. Me no chow chow. No. Ha 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 ho ho. Who ya know?
But if change is what we really want to see, ladies and gentlemen, then we must rise up. We must unite. We must advocate. We cannot remain silent. Where are the young men, the young women, the men, the women, the boys, the girls who will put aside political divide and do what is best for Jamaica? Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. Even our pledge, our national pledge, says before God and all mankind, we cannot see a better Jamaica unless we return to the foot of the cross. Jamaica under God must increase in beauty, fellowship and prosperity, and play our part.
If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
I said I'm happy every day as I travel through this land. I've been mighty blessed by God, and I'm holding to His hand. Yes, mommy, I see you. Yes, the journey is almost over. Shut up. And the battle is nearly won. And I have a feeling. I have a feeling in my heart. The best is yet to come. Sly Goffin over there, so wanna ready for it? Wanna get up now, man. I feel mad in this place. Let's go. I am happy every day as I travel through this land. I've been mighty blessed by God, and I'm holding to His. Over there, so I said the journey's almost over. I know the battle is nearly won, and I have a feeling in my heart the best is yet. Come on, church. I said the best is yet to come. When I walk through heaven's gates, yeah, I said the first time I'll see Jesus, I can hardly wait. And He showed me to a mansion and said, child, this is your home. And I have a feeling in my heart. You know this one? Listen, tell me who.
Oh, you know. I want to hear the angels singing. I want to be in that number. I want to hear that trumpet song. We have done now. I want to hear archangel voice. I want to hear archangel. Oh, I want to hear. When my name is called, I want to hear. Everybody know, I want to hear. I want to hear. I want to hear. I want to hear. Watch out now. I want to see the angel marching. I want to be in that number. I want to hear. I want to hear that trumpet song. I want to hear archangel voice. I want to hear. God bless you now. I want to hear. When my name is called, I want to hear. Everybody do so. If I'm not living for Christ, then I cannot be here. Get something and wave it. Get something and wave it. Get something and. If I'm not living for Christ, then I cannot be happy. Walk out, Christian, walk out, Christian. I only live my life to please. Send me rocking for the road and the star on my phone. I only live my life to please. Live up my life behavior, man. Everybody, so. Live up my life. Live for Jesus. This is silent night. What a holy night. But virgin mother and child, holy, so tender. Talk to me now. But sweetly, God bless you, God bless you. Let me tell some people, I know one prayer we pray. We pray.
Blood and fire comrades who are in jungle tonight. On a know that the word is love. Comrades, me come with a speech, but it's a different speech me have to give tonight. But before I go into that, we have been saying all night that young people know say time come. And I want to bring up a young man who has looked for himself, him read for himself, him search for himself, and when him done, him realize that the only choice he could choose is the People's National Party. And I want to welcome Comrade Harry.
Hold on. We don't have much time. When I say time, you say come. Time. Senator Murray, somebody asked me, Perry, why aren't you a Labourite? Me ever fresh, me no green.
Me coulda never green, dog, me no chow-chow. No. Ha, ho. Who ya know? Hand up on Spaulo. We the gal in the middle.
Hold on, cut in, man, hold on.
Me coulda never green.
Hold on, no DJ, man, hold on. I don't have much time. The next Prime Minister, let me shake your hand, so big up yourself, Mark Golding, Jensek, and brother, Dayton Campbell, doctor. Listen. In 1938, the People's National Party was formed out of the vision to help the poor people. It was born out of restlessness of the people seeking for better. And I believe that the People's National Party continues to be the answer for the people. Can I hear an amen? Hold on. In 1995, under the auspices of P.J. Patterson, the most honorable, there was a revitalization and an extension of the new National Youth Service Program, which gave young people the opportunity to earn Commander Man Church. It gave people the opportunity to better themselves. I don't have much time. But hear what? I hear the other people them say, you must choose Jamaica, but you can't choose Jamaica without choosing the people. God bless you.
Me coulda never green, dog, me no chow-chow. No. Ha, ho. Me coulda never green, dog, me no chow-chow.
You have your flag, comrades.
Comrades, I want to let you know that young man is the former guild president at the University of the West Indies. That is the kind of young people that we attract in the People's National Party.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption
deepens inequality. It siphons off taxpayers' money to make a few cronies richer with the political connections instead of benefiting the people. This government has been doing everything it can to weaken and undermine the Integrity Commission, which is an institution that I designed as Minister of Justice and brought the legislation to Parliament to fight corruption in this country. I have said it before and I will tell you again. Jamaica cannot move forward without a government built on integrity that embraces principles of good governance in this country.
Lightning and thunder for the JLP. Oh. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing those in trust for people, I go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. No war fit the use, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg is hamping. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them machine those in trust for people, I go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. No war fit the use, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg you stop it.
Perspective with Perry Cummings Jr. Big up yourself. The best is yet to come. This is my perspective. Telling you my perspective. This is my perspective to bring change that I feel me objective. Scandal after scandal. Look where Jamaica come to. Them a rob the money and a thief a lot too. Election tactics, what a disgrace. Them cut off ribbon and the place no safe. It's a prime minister, are you me a address? Police a kill off the youth if you check. Talking about the way country are the best. But though this a my perspective, telling you my perspective. This a my perspective to bring change that I feel.
Greetings, 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 one and all. A pleasant evening to you. It is the 25th of August 2026. And my, don't we have a lot to give the Lord thanks for this evening. Come on in, like the live. If you're watching and you're not yet a subscriber, please to subscribe. There is a green hill far away, outside the city wall, where the dear Lord was crucified, who died to save us all. We may not know, we cannot tell what pains he had to bear, but we believe it was for us. He hung and suffered there. He died that we might be forgiven. He died to make us good, that we might go at last to heaven, saved by his precious blood. There was no other good enough to pay the price of sin.
He only could unlock the gate of heaven, let us in. Oh, dearly, dearly as he loved, and we must love him too, and trust in his redeeming blood, and try his works to do. Oh, dearly, dearly as he loved, and we must love him too, and trust in his redeeming blood, and try his works to do. Author Cecile Francis Alexander. As a small girl, Cecile Francis, she wrote a poetry in her school's journal. In 1850, she married Rev. William Alexander, who later became the Anglican primate, also known as the Chief Bishop of Ireland. She showed her concern for disadvantaged people by traveling many miles each day to visit the sick and the poor, providing food, warm clothes, and medical supplies. She and her sister also founded a school for the deaf. Alexander was strongly influenced by the Oxford movement and by John Keble's Christian Year. Her first book of poetry, Verses for Seasons, was A Christian Year for Children. She wrote hymns based on the Apostles' Creed, baptism, the Lord's Supper, the Ten Commandments. Oh, dearly, dearly as he loved, and we must love him too, and trust in his redeeming blood, and try his works to do. Blessings to you all, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Perspective, and I'm your host, Perry Cummins Jr. Please remember to like up the live. If you're new here, please to subscribe. We're about to dive into tonight's show. But before we do that, a little roll call. Yes, let me know where you're viewing from so that we can start the discussions this evening. Blessings to each and every one of you. Yes, man, I see that Comrade Dre Bryan is in the chat. We're just coming over the defense and we're here on The Perspective, right? Falmouth, Portmore, Islington, St. Mary, blessings. Kingston 20 is in the house. Blessings to you, Mr. Ian. Yes, Uncle Johnny out of Florida. Blessings to you, Wisconsin. Boyton Beach is in the house. Blessings. Greetings to each and every one of you. Maypen Clarendon is here. Yvonne Riley, bless up. Southfield, St. Elizabeth. Yes, Spanish Town is here. Florida. Loidas Vale, St. Catherine, Temple Hall. Yukon, Canada, blessings. Bogwalk, St. Catherine, the Cockpit. Listowel, Ontario, Canada, Ocherios. Blessings to you all. Above Rocks. Yes, Corona, Queens, New York, checking in from Florida. Old Harbor, Brooklyn, New York, Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Blessings to you, St. Martin. Blessings, North Carolina, Toronto, Canada. Blessings. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. Southfield, St. Elizabeth, Burlington, New Jersey. Blessings, Northeast, St. Elizabeth, Springfield, Massachusetts. Runaway Bay, St. Anne. Blessings. Remember to like up the live, ladies and gentlemen. That is the way you register for the class, man. Like up the live. Yes, Princess Street, Falmouth. Yes, Virginia. Blessings, Manchinilis, Portland, Downs, Manchester, Christiana. Yes, blessings to you, Deborah Ball from St. Thomas, Jamaica. Yes, Donna Thompson, I eat cheesecake and she not offer me none. Ladies and gentlemen, what can go so? Isn't that what Mr. Crawford would say, ladies and gentlemen? Huh? Somebody's asking for the radio voice. Alright, I'm going to give the radio voice now. Greetings to you all. This is The Perspective, and I'm your host, Perry Cummins Jr. Let me tell you something. It's good to be back one more time on the 25th of August 2026. Like as you enter, blessings to each and every one of you from all over the globe, coming to you live out of Jamaica. Blessings to you all. Donna Thompson, Carol Banton, Neville Riley. Blessings to you, Danet Harriet. Blessings to you, Drake Bryan, and Gladys Selena. Blessings to you, Moko Clarendon. Blessings to you all. Pauline Taylor, Paul Kenton, you know the vibe, you know how it goes. Blessings to you all, comrades from near and far. Please to like up the live as we're about to dive right into tonight's show.
Sakata, we are mash up, fire under the Holy Ghost. Every crisis, every condition.
But what are we gonna love the excitement, man? Me tell you, me say any day name day, then get one radio station put me pop. Me say any day PNP me radio station. Me, Dre Bryan and Ishmael them, me and tell you problem. You know say Ishmael go deal with the sports. Yeah man, you know say Ishmael go deal with the sports. Yes man. Yeah, I want J-Bryan. J-Bryan, where you don't want to? Tell me, J-Bryan, where you don't want to on the radio station, eh? Where you don't want to talk about? Me don't even know what mood I talk about. No, I will talk about the Lord. Yes. I will do the Christian programs. Yes, man. I will do the Christian programs. I will do the Christian programs and the Bible studies. Yes, man. We can make J-Bryan talk about the current affairs. Yeah, man. And Ishmael can give you some sports commentary. It would be nice. Lord of mercy. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, we have a lot to talk about. Boy, I wonder how I can pack everything in 2 hours. But we're going to try. So let's begin. But we have to start by highlighting the passing of one of the world's greatest country singer that the world has ever seen. Yes, I was drinking Miss Pearly. Ladies and gentlemen, Cersei bought 3 spiralinas the other day, you know. Yes, 3 spiralinas. He drank one. He gave me the rest of his. But I drank 2 all by myself. Ladies and gentlemen, the strong back is not to do anything untoward. The strong back is to keep my mind energized and my body fit and ready. So when I come on to advocate, I am strengthened. I am rejuvenated. Yes. But ladies and gentlemen, one thing I don't like with the spirulina, you know. When you drink the spirulina, it make your tongue green. So that's the only downside to it, because I don't like nothing with green, ladies and gentlemen. So all day today I feel so uneasy, because I just realized that when you drink the spirulina, the whole of your tongue green. I mean, I said, Jesus, peace. Oh, I'm gonna come talk on the perspective tonight, and the whole of my tongue green. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna say, Lord God, I'm gonna have to drink some water and wash out my mouth. Yes, I had to drink some water and wash out my mouth, because I can't afford for my tongue to green before the comrades tonight. The devil is a lie. After I don't want my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. But ladies and gentlemen, yes, I am ready. I'm rejuvenated, and we have a number of things to talk about tonight. The Lord help us as we get through it. You mean something to me that I can't explain. Na 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 na. There was something going on. Peace I know. I took go, baby. There was something going on. Island in the streams. That is what we are. Nowhere in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. And love on each other. Hey! Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. One of the greatest country and western singers passed away. Dolly. Lord have mercy. Somebody said Kenny Rogers is smiling, you know. Did you know that she was the original person behind I Will Always Love You? I didn't know that until recently, you know. I thought that it was Whitney Houston that did it until I came across, while, you know, researching her, when I found her. Of course, I knew her first songs, but I didn't know that she was the original person behind I Will Always Love You. I didn't know that. Because most of us, well, the young persons, would be used to Whitney Houston's version. Yes, and it is what they may realize. So we're going to hear from a little bit from Dolly's family. Yes?
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Seaver, son of Cassie Parton, and I'm representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean, sister, sis, Aunt Granny to one generation and Gigi to the next. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality. As her head of security for more than 2 decades, a role my father Larry held before me, I have imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now. It is an honor that is mixed with absolute pride and great sadness. But sadness lies with us, not with Dolly. Dolly has lived in the light and is in the arms of Jesus, surely met by Carl, her parents, and countless others who have watched her and longed for her to meet them in the heavens. I first went on the road with Dolly as a kid, getting a taste of the road life in the early 1980s. Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible. Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her example, we believed that anything was possible. She never saw a door she couldn't open, and the doors she opened made and changed history. My family and I have shared a lifetime of beautiful memories with Dolly, but so have you. She has always been on your television, your record player, your CD, and on your phone playlist, becoming an extended part of your family whether you liked it or not. Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently to ensure her spirit will live with us forever. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny, Gigi. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all. She will always love you.
Wow. While we're on this note, I yesterday, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Or yes, it was yesterday. The popular content creator Happy Wife also passed. I believe cancer, the big C, was the reason for her passing. Not sure. I didn't get to read anything regarding Dolly Parton's death, so I'm not sure what took her out. But I just want to say condolences to everybody who is grieving the loss of their loved ones at this point in time. No doubt, ladies and gentlemen, Dolly Parton would have left a legacy behind in where music is concerned. Death is it was cancer too. Carol Banton, is cancer take out Dolly as well? Death is a road we all must walk. So guess what? We live good. Yes. And we be very truthful. And live good with people, love people. Because you never know when your time and when your number is going to call. I'm getting right into the meat of the matter now, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Senator Morgan, how is it that all schools are set to be reopened September 7? I cannot fathom that the Jamaica Labour Party wants us to believe that they have been doing a great job. Oh, we should be praising the Jamaica Labour Party government for such a wonderful work that they are doing. When for months you all sat down on the $5.5 billion, and I cannot see how is it that all schools are going to be reopened, because that is what the teachers are asking you, Mr. Secretary, over by the Ministry of Education. How is it that all schools are set to be reopened when there are so many things that are left undone? Don't let me leave behind an unfinished task. For you have run the race. You people fought, uno go on veranda, uno go people yard 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, uno roll up them pants foot and walked in the rivers. Uno cross rivers and seas, sleepless nights, and whatever other hanky-panky uno do, forget the third term, only to give us this. A lot of the schools, ladies and gentlemen, they are dilapidated. And the Hurricane Melissa is still being blamed for the incompetence of the Andrew Holness administrations. I cannot understand how is it that everybody is expected. We are expected to accept this mediocre leadership from the Andrew Holness administration. You people had months to put things in place when we were talking to the government to get moving, do something. You people are moving too slow. Everybody say a politics we are play. Everybody has say a politics we are play. No man, Cliff Hughes interviewed Dana Morris Dixon at Talk About Leap program. Yes, a Talk About Leap program. He's not asking the minister, how is it that after so many months, the schools are still not ready to facilitate our students and our teachers? Cliff Hughes now asks her that. Because we know that Cliff Hughes, he has his agenda. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is an indictment on the entire Ministry of Education. The teachers are complaining. As a matter of fact, did you know, ladies and gentlemen, that there are a number of teachers that have had to go into their own pockets to spend on their classrooms, to refurbish? You hear what I say, ladies and gentlemen? I was scrolling through social media and I realized that a number of teachers, they have to be digging into their own pockets. When the government already turned their backs on them no want to give them no increase. But because teachers love their profession and they love the children, they have to be dipping in their pockets, trying to fix up the schools, because the government is not doing anything.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here's what we have in the bulletin.
Schools to reopen September 7 despite some delays. Firefighters battle stubborn Devil's Race course blaze. And later in sports, Jamaica lacrosse confident of Olympic qualifications.
Here are the details. All public schools will reopen on September 3, despite delays in repairing and rebuilding schools damaged by Hurricane Melissa. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Marlon Morgan, says alternative arrangements will be put in place for schools that are not fully ready for reopening. Mr. Morgan was speaking on Smile Jamaica Tuesday.
Of where we are now, we have some 43 of the priority one schools really that have been complete, that are complete in terms of reconstruction. I gather there are some 25 of our schools that will be complete in time for September 7 reopening of schools. And there are some 277 of the schools that will be having to utilize some form of mixed modality of learning.
Priority 1 schools?
Which includes priority 1 and perhaps some priority 2 and 3 schools as well. There are 277 of them that will have to be utilizing and resorting to mixed modalities. And by that we mean they may have an extended school day, they may have to resort to and rely on learning kits, they may have to rotate students, like have one set of grades coming in on a Monday, another set coming on a Tuesday.
And just to reiterate, all public schools will reopen on September 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, is this acceptable though? In all fairness. In all fairness. Ladies and gentlemen, should we accept this? Should we accept this from the Andrew Holness government? Is that enough? Press secretary? Permanent secretary, I should say. Is that enough, Mr. Morgan? That is not enough. You people had time to prioritize our students. You people have done nothing for nobody really. Because if you check it out, we still have people living under zincs. Not even just tarpaulins, you know. Zinc. On the roadside. We showed a clip last night. We still have people living in cars. We still have people living in some little hole, like the man last night. So it's not like say, okay, we can't help everybody, because I understand we're not unreasonable. But if you're not going to help the average Jamaican citizen, at least prepare the schools then, no? So that the children could have been ready to go back to school in safe environments. They wouldn't have to be going through any mixed modality. Some amount of normalcy could have been achieved. Mr. Morgan, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, the government has failed right across the board. Nowhere we see any improvement. Somebody have under one apple tree. So my question is this: what is it that the government has achieved since this whole road to recovery post Hurricane Melissa? What is it that we can look and say, yes, this is the percentage of people who have been who suffered loss because of the hurricane and because of the government's intervention? 10%, 15%, 50% all hurricane victims have recovered. We're not getting any figures. We're not hearing anything. There's no assessment done. We don't know, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you something. You see this mixed modality that the government is now talking about? It is going to be here for a long time, because we have a very lazy administration, you know. What they want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to normalize this type of shift
in the education system because they really and truly don't want to spend the money to fix our schools. They want to sit on the money to do what with it? I don't know. I'm not sure if we have some more bank accounts to hear about. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, and the opposition complained about this some time ago. The government sit on the money, them not spending the money, and if them not spend the money, we can't account for the money. But the children must now go back to school regardless of the state of the schools by September 7. And we expect our children to do well. No wonder our education system is failing. No wonder our education system is failing and our students are underperforming. This, ladies and gentlemen, is simply unacceptable. Well, I'm happy to communicate that the opposition spokesperson on education, he said a few things. I'm not sure if it was on Sunday. I believe it was on Sunday. And we are going to hear the opposition spokesperson on education expressing his own concerns. Yes, regarding the government and their incompetence regarding this catastrophic failure. I know many of us have been asking for the opposition spokesperson on education to be more vocal regarding his portfolio, and we want to highlight that bit of advocacy. We're just getting this in so that we can all hear what Mr. Damian Crawford has said. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember to like up the live. If you're watching and you're not yet a subscriber, please subscribe. We're on the road to 13,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. I believe we can do that. We can do it. Yes, we can do it.
Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome to viewers on OneSpotMedia.com as well as TVJ International in the Cayman Islands.
First up this evening, opposition spokesman on education Damian Crawford says he's concerned that no deal has been reached between the teachers and the government.
The failure to find a deal has been contributing to uncertainty in the education sector just over a week before schools reopen.
Additionally, with rebuilding efforts at some schools behind schedule, Mr. Crawford says the new academic year could see some students not returning to school.
Jamila Maitland reports.
Educators rejected the government's latest proposal 3-1 during last week's annual teachers' conference in Trelawney. 155 of them voted no, while 54 said they'd accept the proposal. For opposition spokesman on education Damian Crawford, if the matter isn't settled in the coming days, it could spell trouble for the reopening of schools slated for September 7.
It means it is highly probable that upon opening of schools, we will not have the teachers available.
As to why the deal was rejected remains unclear to TVJ News. The JTA said it would keep the matters private so as to not disrupt or inflame the negotiations. Mr. Crawford, who was speaking at a political meeting recently, says he's also concerned about the state of readiness of schools, which could impact the turnout.
We know that most of our schools are not up to standard, with only 35 of over 300 or 45 of over 300 being ready after being damaged by Hurricane Melissa. The government says that they will remain in rotation. Rotation means that you go to school 2 days and miss 3, and another set go to school 3 days and miss 2.
Mr. Crawford worries that design could lead to further absenteeism and school dropout. A 2026 study published in the Journal of Epidemiology and Community Health on a school-based intervention of absenteeism found that a student is chronically absent if they miss 10 or more school days in a year. That works out to be at least 18 days, which is roughly 2 days per month. Jamaica's average is about 20%. In deep rural Jamaica, it's 40%. The study found that by deploying caseworkers, improvements were observed. Locally, the Ministry of Education says it's searching for the students, especially those in the hurricane-hit parishes of Western Jamaica. Mr. Crawford says it needs to be a national effort.
The absenteeism is also encouraged by the persons not having access to adequate shelter because how you go to school if your house still not built back yet. If you live under a tapal. And despite the clear necessity for intervention for back to school expenses, I've heard no serious government intervention for those who were most affected by by Melissa. And so we expect to have greater levels of absenteeism.
Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
This is a national crisis. This is a national crisis. Absenteeism, ladies and gentlemen. The figures are alarming. This is very concerning. And it is only going to get worse. Because everything is connected, you know. When you have a government that has totally deserted the hurricane victims, families, not getting any assistance from the government to recover from the disaster that struck last year in October on the 28th, Hurricane Melissa. You have to understand that the ripple effects are there. Watch ya. Alison Mendez, thank you for the $10. Perry, you owe me a pepper spray song. It would. Oh, you want to hear them pepper spray, Desmond? Alright, no problem, my dear. You send the money, you ask for the song, we go and drop it. Yes, yes.
Red light, people like red light, no. I don't like, I don't like, I don't like you. I don't like, I don't like, I don't like you. Red light, people like, we don't like you. Red light, people like red light, no. We don't like, we don't like, we don't like you. We don't like, we don't like, we don't like
Ladies and gentlemen, that's for Alison. Thank you for the $10 in the super chat there. But certainly, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't seem as if it's only Desmond McKenzie who got his eyes pepper sprayed. There is a lack of vision right across the Andrew Holness administration. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. How is it that we expected our schools to be ready, and how we're going to expect our students to show up for school when most of them, they are yet to receive any assistance from the government? Children, students, a lot of them, ladies and gentlemen, they have to join their parents in hustling, trying to make ends meet, because now all hands must be on deck. A lot of the livelihoods were destroyed because of the hurricane, and now the students have to chip in. That is now the priority. It's a matter of survival now. And because the government, they have failed to prioritize the people, going back to that same democratic socialism. We're going to touch it again at the latter part of this program, you know. We have to continue the conversations because it's all connected. Because the Jamaica Labour Party does not subscribe to democratic socialism, where the people is at the center of governance. This is the reason why our schools are not ready for September 7, Mr. Morgan. Is because your fellow colleague and party member
Apka Fitz-Henley made it very clear that the Jamaica Labour Party, they do not subscribe, don't subscribe to the prioritization of people. Because if the JLP I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this should be the argument. It's all connected and tied into the political ideologies that governs the different political parties in Jamaica. If we were operating under democratic socialism, if we were operating under democratic socialism, then we would have seen a greater effort in preparing our children for back to school. Remember to like up the live, ladies and gentlemen. The aim is 500 likes. Let's go. If we were prioritizing the people in this country, families would have been at a better place today, where they could have fended for themselves and send their children back to school. The reason why so many of our Jamaicans are asking on the government to assist them, and it seems as if, as Munshi B did say, the people have burdened the Prime Minister with their problems. Well, the Prime Minister caused that. He brought that upon himself. Because if from the beginning, the government, if they had intervened in a meaningful way to spur the growth of the local economy, supporting the small businesses, getting the small businesses up and running, then we would have been in a better position where people could have stand on their own feet. But that wasn't the action taken by the government. They sat back, they folded their arms, and because the people didn't get that support, because they don't believe in democratic socialism, they don't believe in giving people a start, they don't believe in investing in the people. It is the reason why the Prime Minister was saying buildings are going up. You remember, ladies and gentlemen, buildings are going up, bridges are being built. That is the priority of the Jamaica Labour Party. Listen to me. You can't want to fix up the country and make the country look good. As you say, Mr. Holness, you have to fix up the front of the yard. So your priority is not getting our children ready for school, Your priority is not getting the people of Jamaica at a place where they're formidable. Your priority is not getting the people of Jamaica at a place where they can fend for themselves. Your priority is how Jamaica look. So as you say, you want to fix up the front of the yard. That is the focus of the JLP. It's all about the looks. So you want to fix up waterfront. You want to make it look pretty. Yes. You want to build up the skyscrapers. I hope I'm making sense. I'm just trying to connect the dots here, because it's all tied into our ideologies, It is the ideologies that guides the JLP. That is the reason why they are behaving like this, so indifferent and apathetic towards the concerns of the people, because of their ideologies. They prefer fix up Jamaica and make it look pretty, but the people are suffering. That doesn't make that doesn't spell sense. It no spell sense. It no make sense. You can't want to fix up the front yard, but everywhere else in the yard pop down. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So build it. Yes, Prudence Allen. I'm going to always quote the Prime Minister. I tell people all the time, don't allow your dislike for the Prime Minister to prevent you from listening to him. Because most of the times, it's what he says that exposes him and the administration that he leads. I remembered when the Prime Minister was responding to the TCN concerns. And him say, why would I bring criminals into the country after I work so hard to bring down crime? And he went on to say, Prudence Allen, buildings are going up, bridges and that, and he's going around and talking about all the infrastructure that we are seeing. And he went on to say, when people come to you with these lies, tell them to go away, and him fan off the people them. That is the mindset and the mentality of the Jamaica Labour Party that we're faced with. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we dive into some more things, but I see this call coming in. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Mr. Perry. I always watch you, my dear. I am calling from Canada.
It's nice to have you on. Bless you.
You know what? I have seen where a lot of people have no homes and nowhere to stay and food to eat.
Yes.
I'm looking at a gentleman who can have a room that he can stay at my place around our house.
Oh, you're in Jamaica, right?
Hello?
Yes.
I know. I am in Canada, but the place is in Jamaica around the North Coast.
Okay. So you're looking for somebody who can stay there?
Yes. And I will treat that person very good. I have a room for him. And he can do a little thing around the yard, even to do like a painting and clean up the place for me.
Okay.
Even somebody in late 40s to 60s.
Okay. Preferably one of the persons from Cooper's Pen?
Even Cooper's Pen, it doesn't matter to me.
All right. So I'll see what we can. We'll see what we can do for you. I'll just save this number. All right.
Yes, because I will be out in Jamaica in November.
Okay. So you want little maintenance and things of that nature to be done and all of that. All right. No problem.
Yes.
All right.
And I will treat that person right. I am around the North Coast.
Okay. All right. No problem, mommy. Bless you.
Okay, I always enjoy your program.
I'm happy that you enjoy the programs, man. We appreciate you tuning in.
Yes, Mr. Perry.
All right.
Take care and have a wonderful evening.
All right. You too, mommy. All right. Bless you.
Yes, thank you very much. Bye.
Yes. Lord of mercy. Yes, a hurricane victim. Somebody who is in need of shelter, eh? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have some other matters to talk about. Some very serious issues. Remember to like up the live, subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber to be a part of the family. Soon come.
And Pearl Therapy, we are here to help you to bring ultimate relaxation to your feet. Our hot stone, Swedish, and deep tissue massage services are here to help you to get rid of tensions, minor swellings, and aches and pain, increase flexibility and circulation. If you are having any heart or circulatory diseases, then this might not be for you. Reach out to us and let's see if you can secure yourself with a foot massage for as low as $4,500. Thank you for choosing Pearl Therapy, the healing hub.
Are you frustrated with your skincare? Are you tired of acne, blemishes, scars, sagging skin, wrinkles, discoloration? Why not enjoy our wide array of products, from skin, hair, and personal care? Place your frustration on our shoulders, and we will get you smiling again. The power of our products are in our formulation and ingredients. Listen to our customer testimonial. This is what she has to say.
Oh my gosh, look at my face. I've been using these products for a year, exactly 1 year. If you have not tried them, you need to try them. They really work. Look at my skin.
Visit our website or contact us at 917-557-6204. Make it Tonian Organics and order yours today.
Food is designed to be felt, not just tasted. Soft warmth, gentle richness,
a harmony that melts effortlessly on the tongue. At Cummings Exquisite Caterers, every dish is an invitation, guided by passion, finished with elegance. We cater for life's most meaningful moments, elegant weddings, private celebrations, and much more. With a serene repast center, just 10 minutes away from two major cemeteries. We are located at 38 Dublin Spanish Town Road. Reach out to us, 876-573-9124. Cummings Exquisite Caterers, where desire meets dine.
Our first social media question tonight comes from Instagram. Shania in Kingston, she says, low voter turnout suppresses the effectiveness of a democratic society. Many Jamaicans refuse to vote because they believe both parties are corrupt. What would you say to the significant population of non-voters? And if elected, how will you hold politicians accountable for offenses against the people instead of protecting them?
So in this instance, the question, you have 90 seconds to answer, and we begin with Dr. Holness.
Corruption is a serious problem in our country, and corruption requires strong leadership. From my position as Prime Minister, I have taken action against any member of my political party that has been involved or accused of anything that suggests corruption. In my own case, I have been investigated for a year with an expert forensic auditor. The findings of that report have suggested no corruption. There have been no charges. Every aspect of my report, every aspect of my personal life and my personal financial details are in the public domain. I am the politician about which Jamaica knows the most. And therefore, I am the politician who can stand with the greatest moral authority to treat with any matter that is considered corrupt, as I have done in the past. And I want to give this assurance to the Jamaican people that you know me, you know about me, you can trust me, and you know that I stand against corruption.
Mr. Golding has the opportunity to respond to that social media question as well.
Andrew, what they know about you is that you have 28 bank accounts, that you received several $1 million in cash deposits from anonymous donors in your bank account, that your companies had transactions of over $400 million, several thousand transactions between them, and that Positive Jamaica Foundation, a non-profit which you are intimately connected with, provided resources which you use for personal investments through your personal company. We have signed the Leadership Code of Conduct developed by Integrity Commission. All of our spokespersons and myself have signed. None of your people have signed it. I am committed to ensuring that all members of the executive, when we form government, will have their Integrity Commission declarations published, not just the leader of the opposition and what should happen, but hasn't happened in your case because you're not certified, the Prime Minister. So the whole question that has been asked is an excellent question. And we really need to step up our vigilance against corrupt behavior, nepotism and cronyism. The volume of scandals under this Jamaica Labour Party government is unprecedented. Over the number of ministers who have had to be removed from frontline duty, many of them parked in the naughty corner in OPM rather than being sacked. It is a disgrace to the country, and your personal situation where you're operating under a deep cloud because your Integrity Commission declarations are not certified also is something which Jamaica cannot go forward with.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Perspective here, your host, Perry Cummings Jr. Yes, like up the live, ladies and gentlemen. We really ought to connect the dots and not have the conversations in isolation. Just before the break, we spoke about the schools and just how, disgraceful the situation is. When you think about it, the government, they had the time they have the resources, but the will, the mindset to ensure that our schools are ready for our children, that's not there. And you have to ask yourself the question, why? It goes back to philosophy. It goes back to the ideologies. If you cannot afford it, then you cannot have it. That is how JLP people think. It is not my responsibility to look out for you that is poor. It is not, if you cannot do it on your own, then I shouldn't feel obligated to help you. That's not how the JLP thinks. That's not their ideology. So you will have a lot of rich families with their children who will be ready for September 7. Because probably those children do not attend public schools either. A lot of these politicians and their children, they don't go to public schools. And because they can afford to send their children to the private institutions, and because of who is on that school board, those schools will be ready for September 7. But the schools that caters to the masses and the poorer class, and where the education cost is heavily subsidized in our public schools as a result of democratic socialism out of the Manly movement, the JLP frowns upon that. They will have a problem supporting these schools in any meaningful way. So I want us to connect the dots and link it right back to democratic socialism versus capitalism. That is how I want my prospective family to think in these days. We have to make the connections. Why is it that the Jamaica Labour Party operates like this? Why is it that the People's National Party operates like this? It boils down to the fundamental ideologies that governs the political parties. But we have a major problem over there in St. Thomas. A major breakaway in St. Thomas. It has sparked some serious concerns, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you're not seeing how our roads are being improved. You hear how much billions of dollars were spent and allocated to improve our roads. The roads are atrocious. The Minister of Road went to Peru to learn how to run in portfolio. These people don't have a clue as to what they're doing.
A breakaway along the Moffat Main Road in St. Thomas has long been a source of concern for residents who say the situation worsens whenever it rains. They say the deteriorating road conditions make it difficult to commute and move freely through the community, prompting calls for urgent intervention.
When you look on the road, how much water being spilled running on the road and mess up the vehicle them. Right? Mess up the vehicle them, and we are the ones who are suffering. We can't take this no more, man. Government need to do something about this.
I need the people of this road that's fixing the road to hurry up. It's really in a bad condition. We are suffering with parts. Every day we have to bypass a vehicle. It's really terrible. We need some farmer help. We need some farmer people to come in and talk for us, man. It's really bad.
Meanwhile, Councillor for the Trinityville Division, Dean Jones, says relief could be on the way, with work expected to begin on the road in the coming weeks.
97% of writers never complete their manuscript. Will you be part of the 3%?
There is a breakaway up in Moffat where you'd consider it as dump, where every time the rain fall, there is where the flood come down and stop the school. that no school can happen in that area. It closes school for the day because the road is impassable when we have heavy rainfall. However, the residents are aware that the road is with the Spark program.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is unacceptable. Thank you for the likes. Continue to like up the likes, ladies and gentlemen. This is unacceptable. I'm not seeing what our tax dollars are doing in this country. If we're paying taxes so ever often on so many things from so many things, then we should be getting better services. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. If you are paying for a service and you are not getting a certain quality from this service or from the service being provided, shouldn't you stop? Shouldn't you refrain from paying? Am I not being reasonable here, ladies and gentlemen? If we continue to pay taxes for better roads, for good roads, and we're not seeing good roads, isn't it on principle then, ladies and gentlemen? Isn't it on principle we put our money elsewhere and invest our money somewhere else? Shouldn't that be reasonable? We don't see, ladies and gentlemen, where our roads are getting any better. But we are paying a lot of money. I can tell you that. A lot of money is being spent on our roads to try and make it better, but something is not working. And because of this discomfort, I am hearing of a no movement day. I am hearing of a no movement day, ladies and gentlemen, that should be coming very, very soon. Blessings to you, Star Girl. Everybody just join in. Remember to like the live. I gather that there is going to be a no movement day because the people them tired of it.
Port Operators Development Sustainable Service STODS is urging its public transport operators to hold off on plans for an all-island no-movement day on September 7 when the new school term begins. President Edgerton Newman had made it clear that TODS is not in support of the proposed move. He says the government should be given more time to address their concerns, as stakeholders already met with Transport Ministry officials to work through the issues, including the October 1 implementation of the new demerit points system and better working conditions for PPV operators.
Listen, and he's paying keen attention to it by way of establishing a committee with several agencies and organizations. And we believe that time should be given for this team to review the Road Traffic Act and to get back to us. It cannot be done overnight. We believe in communication, and we have done that. We believe in consultation, and that is taking place. And we hope that the October 1 time for demerit points to be put in place will be set back.
Transport operators have raised issues with the demerit point system, particularly that there is the high risk of rapid license suspensions, which would affect their earning potential. Mr. Newman is also urging operators to avoid taking any actions that could unnecessarily disrupt the reopening of schools.
September 7th is back to school. Why would I, as a parent, want to disrupt the opening of school, new school term? No, I can't. And so the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services and associated groups and in the island-wide support, we are on public if you are big transport operators. Don't mix it with politics.
And if the enemy are fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say, pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam, bam, bam. Boom, boom.
Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen? The government need more time to come up with a solution, and they should not go out with the no movement. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, the one who should be representing the people, they are fighting against the people. After all of this time, Yvonne Riley, when the listen, you know, every day, what the saying say? Every day a bucket go well, I saw it go. One day the bottom I go drop out. And I saw the saying say, ladies and gentlemen, if every day you carry the bucket, go to the well, one day it is going to drop out. The people, they have reached their wits' end. You have something called your breaking point. And when you reach your breaking point and you have exhausted all avenues of peaceful or diplomatic consultations and sit downs, if all have failed, if all of the diplomatic conversations and the deliberations and the round table talk, if you have exhausted all the avenues, sir, but after doing that over and over and over again without remedy, can you gaslight the taxi operators and other motorists for taking such a stance? Remember the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Labor rights and comrades, like up the live, please. The independents, like up the live. You cannot expect Jamaica to continue like this without the pressure bursting the pipe. What we are seeing in Jamaica today, ladies and gentlemen, with the amount of protests, the amount of shutting and sick out, people talking about no movement days, it is because people have been going through the oppression under this capitalistic regime, under this Andrew Holness government. The people are tired of it. So let me ask a question. Taxi man now families to feed to. With the terrible roads every time. Remember, you know, them use the roads more than they depend on good roads to survive. A big part of their productivity, it is anchored in the quality of roads. The better the roads, the smoother the roads, the quicker the taxi operators are able to traverse to and fro, transporting their load. And the quicker money can be made. The quicker them can make the money to pay the boss. The quicker them can make the school fee for the pitney them. The quicker them can make the money to pay the bills. But when the roads are terrible, it is the slower they're able to go from the bus park and the terminuses to the different communities. You tamper with the people them livelihood. But we now see the roads them are fix. Coupled with that is the unnecessary monies that they have to spend on vehicles over and over and over again, buying the same parts over and over and over again, wasting money. So guess what, Mona? Them fi stay home for true. Sorry for those who are expecting the taxi operators and the bus drivers to be out bright and early September 7. But they are choosing to stay in. If you want to see a change in this country, stand with them, because them staying home is going to affect you. But the root of the problem is not the taxi operators. The root of the problem is this capitalism and this selfish government that we have endured for so long. Talk about the unnecessary tickets too. Yes, man. It is oppressive. The water is up at the necks of Jamaicans. I'd say the water is now at their nostrils. And they simply cannot take the pressure anymore. Them can't take the pressure anymore. So we have to stand for something, Shanti. We have to stand for something. So I don't know why some persons now are trying to twist this narrative or to make this narrative that somehow the No Movement Day is influenced by the People's National Party. I saw me hear one of the JLP bloggers them say, "Good night, Winifred Saunders." Let me tell you, you people are so crazy over the PNP. I understand. It's fine. I understand. For you people, once somebody does not agree with the government, they have to be PNP. But I want to burst some of the bubbles. You have some people in Jamaica, and it goes for all motorists who I pray. I just want to put that out there. I want it to be very clear that you have some people, you see, who are just sick and tired of the Andrew Holness administration. It's not everything is politically motivated, you know. You have some people who are just tired of the oppression, tired of the corruption, tired of the injustice. And they want a change. And they have been listening to the advocates. They have been listening to Mark Golding and his team. And they are saying enough is enough. But the Jamaica Labour Party, they are not saying enough is enough. So people like J.C. Hutchinson plans to rally labour rights for JLP's fourth term. You know, you hear this, ladies and gentlemen? Look at this man. Look at this man, ladies and gentlemen.
Something all right. Something all right, yeah.
J.C. Hutchinson, why don't you take a seat? And in your days, in your olden days now, you should be looking to make it right with the Lord. What type of fourth term are you talking about, J.C. Hutchinson? Me not understand. Haven't you done enough damage to this country? J.C. Hutchinson, a long-serving Jamaican member of Parliament for Northwest St. Elizabeth and former minister, has been at the center of two major political scandals involving nepotism, conflict of interest, and the improper facilitation of state resources. In Hutchinson, what type of fourth term are you talking about? When in 2020, July 2020, a major controversy erupted involving 2,400 acres of state-owned sugar lands at the Holland Estate in St. Elizabeth. Hutchinson used his ministerial influence to pressure SGA Holdings, the sugar company of Jamaica, an entity falling directly under his portfolio, to immediately hand over management of the land to a private entity called Holland Producers Limited. Capitalism, nepotism, cronyism. And a no JLP a thief land. When you see all of these things happening, ladies and gentlemen, it is just history repeating itself.
Sakata. We are mash up, fire under the Holy Ghost. Every crisis, every condition, every operation of hell. Fire, fire, Bishop. I got your back, fire, fire. Jesus Christ, watch the operation. Watch the operation. Jesus Christ, Eastwood Park Road, come. Cover your pastor, cover your pastor. Go in, Bishop, go in, Bishop. Take down the Illuminati. Take down the voodoo. Take down the Freemason. Take down the witches. Take down the warlock. Take down the Wabiaism. Him under the Holy Ghost, let him.
Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen? Man, what type of fourth term are you talking about? Huh? What type of fourth term are you talking about? While J.C. Hutchinson will be stepping down as the Jamaica Labour Party's deputy leader in charge of Area Council 4 come October, he has made it clear that he plans to remain active to help secure a fourth consecutive term for the party. In reminding party supporters that he has served as an officer of the area council for more than 2 decades, Hutchinson said he intends to use his retirement from the position to focus even more on helping the JLP secure victories at the municipal and parliamentary levels. Hear this, ladies and gentlemen? J.C. Hutchinson. Remember the nepotism where your name get called upon. It was later exposed that Hutchinson's long-term partner, Lola Marshall Williams, was a primary director and shareholder of Holland Producers Limited. Currently, his son, Jason Charles Hutchinson, was the sole proprietor of a farm supply store operating right on the estate grounds. And with all of the hanky-panky we're going, ladies and gentlemen, Hutchinson claimed he acted to prevent squatting. You hear ya? They acted to prevent squatting. You know, this is just so interesting. It is so interesting that the news is carrying J.C. Hutchinson, given his history of the land, 2,400 acres. And you did what you did, according to you, to prevent squatting. You remember we're going up a Cooper's Pensilani, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, in my book, I believe the Jamaica Labour Party have a lot to do with a lot of these privatization of the lands and all of that, and the fight against squatting and a bulldoze down and a buck down people's house. I tell that it is just history repeated itself in different ways, in different shapes, in different forms. And amid the heavy public backlash, Prime Minister Andrew Holness stripped Hutchinson of his duties, responsibilities as minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Agriculture, and transferred him to a junior role within the office of the Prime Minister. That is what Mr. Mark Golding talk about. When these people should be sacked, they are placed in the naughty corner in the OPM. I tell you, people, connect the dots. This is what Mark Golding taught, the clip I play every day. When these people should have been fired. When they should have been sacked. They are transferred into the naughty corner in OPM. And this is what we are talking about. But JC Hutchinson, I don't done with you. Before you go sit down now and look to the Lord. Before you go look to the Lord and ask him to forgive you for all the sins. Remember the nepotism scandal in 2022, you know? The Pro-Star contract nepotism scandal in JC Hutchinson. In October 2022, the Integrity Commission of Jamaica published a damning investigation report citing Hutchinson for another conflict of interest. The report revealed that Hutchinson influenced the recommendation of the state contract to Pro-Star Electrical and Construction through the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. Pro-Star Electrical and Construction was owned and operated by Hutchinson's son. Say all of your family member them just get all of the contract them and the deals them from the government, yeah? The Integrity Commission found that Hutchinson deliberately attempted to distance himself from the paper trail by claiming his constituency coordinator acted independently. The Director of Investigations labeled Hutchinson's defense as misleading and concluded that he authorized the referral. The Commission officially recommended that the Prime Minister and the Speaker of the House sanction Hutchinson for appalling conduct, while the Opposition People's National Party demanded his complete removal. The government leadership argued that his prior demotion during the 2020 land scandal served as sufficient punishment. Mighty God of Daniel. You hear this? You hear this? So because the Prime Minister demoted him to a junior role in the office of the Prime Minister, them say him never deserve no more punishment. What a wickedness that took place.
Fire. And if the enemy are fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say, pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam, bam, bam. Boom, boom.
J.C. Hutchinson, I didn't read out your files to bring you down and drag you down. I read out the files because I believe that your priorities are messed up. You don't have the best history politically out of the Jamaica Labour Party. And you could be my grandfather. You need to focus on retiring in peace and make peace with the Lord. You're talking about fourth term, talking about rallying labor rights for fourth term. But ladies and gentlemen, the fact that the Jamaica Labour Party is depending on J.C. Hutchinson with such a disgraceful history in the politics to rally labor rights for a fourth term. It speaks to the desperation of the JLP. I tell people all the time, that the JLP, in my book, they have lost relevance. And that's the reason why they attack the PNP so much. The fact that the Jamaica Labour Party have to go drag out this one year out of retirement. For rally labour rights. Oh, JC Hutchinson can rally. Oh, it goes to show the level of desperation. These people are willing to do anything and to use anybody by any means necessary. To get their fourth term. Mr. Hutchinson, you don't even know if you're going to live to see that the next election. But remember, I will be here by the grace of our Lord. Huh? By the grace of our Lord J.C. Hutchinson. I'll be here to read out the same files that I just read out. The land grab, the nepotism, the Pro-Star contract, the Integrity Commission running. I will be here. It's a disgrace. This is what the Jamaica Labour Party is all about. Nepotism, capitalism. It's a disgrace, it's a shame. And when you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, people are on the ground feeling this type of behavior from the JLP. The same nepotism and political victimization. People are feeling it all over. So there's a lady, Tika, from up at Olympic Way. Them side there. She broke her silence on what she believed to have been a great disservice and injustice to the children in the division. She wanted 2 vouchers to give back to 2 students who did well. One passed for Queens, the Queen's School, and the other for Jamaica College. I apologize in advance. At the very end of her expressions, she used colorful language. But I think it is very important for us just to understand that this is how low and how far the JLP is willing to go. Just so that they can, because I just look at the lady support PNP, you know. Can you imagine? The lady kept a treat. She kept a treat and she wanted just 2 vouchers to give back. But because the lady a PNP, she was tossed aside. Listen to her.
Yeah, the counselor. A long time I make a video, but I'm going to make a video for you. I see you make video, you give out voucher. Right? And me keep a treat Saturday, the 22nd of August, from Beatrice Crescent. Right at my bar. Yeah, Tika this. And remember, I call you. I left a message. Remember, you and my family, them good, yeah. And Sue Young good, yeah, and Joan good. I remember we link you, I ask you for 2 of the voucher, just to give 2 pitney. A little girl that pass the Queen's High School and a little boy that pass the JC. You know what you tell Suze say? You know what you tell Sue Young say? You can't do it. You have to consider it. So I want to know if you are the councillor just for Towile and not the councillor for Marlow, because the last time he checked, you are the sitting councillor. Eh? And I ask if you 2 of the voucher, Kelvin, you couldn't give me 1. Remember, you know, you sue them good, you know, because me ain't no good. Because me a power and you a show. You see me? And you know you not like me and me not like you. But it's when it come on to the pit of them, that way I talk about. You make videos, say you the council, you give out voucher. So Kelvin, how Marload not get none? Me keep a treat Saturday. Me keep a treat Saturday pan Beatrice Crescent. Me and my whole family. The whole 11 and a half keep a treat. Kelvin will reach out to you, you know. Kelvin will reach out to you as the counselor and will ask you for 2 voucher. And what you say? You say no. Me call you, you know, answer, me left message. I know what me I go do? Kelvin Hall, the counselor for the Olympic division. Me I go post the text message them. When me text you. And you no reply. And me I go post what you tell Sue say. Know what you tell Sue say? You go look into it. And now you no reach out. Joanne, when you and her so close, my auntie, Joanna, you and her so close, reach out to you. And now you no reply to Joanne. Remember, you see me? It's a little girl, a little humble tika. When me no counselor, me no MP, me no caretaker, me no nothing. Me is just a little activist. Yeah? And me keep treat for the people them a Mall Road. Me tika do that. And give them school bag book, car key, the whole works. Where were you, Kelvin? Kelvin, where you did there? Come here, I did a video for you, you know. Come and see you do a video, me I do back this for you. Kelvin is a wicked youth. The rate you somebody have fear one at a time, me not rate you again. I told me no want to send you upon that. Hey, Kelvin is a wicked boy. Remember, you can't say a lie, you know, because we have proof, you know. Reach out to you for 2 voucher for give a little girl we go at Excel, we pass the Queens, and a little boy we pass the JC. And you don't do it. You say you're going to look in at it. No, you can't look in at it. 2 high school picnic them in my ask you, we beg you find out about 7 hours we reach out to you. And me I go screenshot, me I go put screenshot them, and me I go put everything on TikTok. And me I go tag you in it, Kelvin, for everybody for sister is a little pussy to the constituency. You is a little bumble.
The lady says that she is no counselor, she's no MP, but she decided to do something for the children, and people allowed their political preferences to get involved. To get involved. It should have never happened. Where is the equity? Where is the equity? So because she said power, she not supposed to get no vouchers. But it is sad, first of all. It is sad. But again, Sir C, it boils down to the ideologies. It boils down to the foundation of the JLP. What are the principles that guides the Jamaica Labour Party? You hear how the lady think? The lady think about keeping the treat. She says she is just an activist. And him are the councillor and him not do nothing. She is the one who believe in doing it for the children. Khaki suit, bag and uniform and this. Right? I mean, no Tika now ask the pitney them if them parents are Labour right or PNP. But the Jamaica Labour Party, their modus operandi is severely different. They politicize everything. We saw this last year. Zulika Jess made some noise about it. The partisan way in which they were distributing the aid. Ladies and gentlemen, It is sad, but it is the truth. I think Mary wants to jump on here. Go ahead, Mary.
Stacey, brother P, you say you're talking about use the word equity. There's no equity when it comes down to the JLP and education. See, it's an apartheid education system.
Oh,
they
yes.
Operate. It's all right. You remember, you see a lot of our children, people don't understand what is going on, You see a lot of children when they do this exit exam for matriculate to secondary school, a lot of them, Brother P, you see at 11 or whatever age they take this exam, you see if a lot of them do get placed into one of the top traditional high schools, so a lot of them feel like failures.
Oh,
you know that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of look here. I see in my community, right? That the primary school in my community. I don't know. The kids used to get excellent passes to the top schools. I don't know. Something has happened where it has fallen off some. But let me tell you something. You see, a lot of times when they don't get the school, like the top school, say when them not talk with school, them get placed for. Come never use word pass. Can't really get placed in school. A lot of them, brother people, do not want to talk, and even the parents them not talk. A lot of parents do brother P, a lot of parents start working the mechanism to see if them can get them transferred into other schools. You understand me?
Yes.
They don't speak. If it's not the Woolmers, the Immaculates, the original traditional high schools, a lot of them no want to talk which school them get placed for. So you right there and then you see it's like an apartheid system. You understand me?
Yes.
And then, so, when now, you are like a voucher, value $3,000 or whatever is on that, whatever. And when a child gets placed into one of these schools, me tell you, the pride and joy with a pity they feel, and with the parent people, to know, say, all right, now go, me go to Queens or the GSC, or whatever. It's not like the other schools are, because what happened is, see, if all schools were created equal, it wouldn't be a problem, brother P.
Oh, exactly.
Yes, all schools are not created equal, because a lot of schools don't have the science labs,
yes.
the lab, this. But a lot of schools don't even get the top tier teachers. Because
yes.
I remember one time was a teacher. She said she could never teach. There were two high schools in my community, Charlie Smith and Trenchtown. They have since converted Trenchtown into a polytechnic college, but Charlie Smith is still. And the two schools on the same level. So it never makes sense. Two high schools within the walking distance, or the two schools are the same thing. And what I was talking conversation, this teacher said, if another Immaculate and them school there and the campus, she is not, she cannot do it. Our psyche can't take it to come teach in one of these schools. So we need the educational system. It need to be transcended where even to get the best teachers, where you even give the best teachers, the incentive for them to come into a Charlie Smith or a Holy Trinity, those schools, you give them incentive to get the best, in everything, our teachers are not probably created equal. Some might, have a little more, can deal with certain things and can do, I'm trying to be technical here, brother.
Yes, I get what you're saying, man. Yeah.
Yes, I'm not downing any teacher because it's hard enough already on a teacher. But I'm just saying, maybe we need the education system to be transcended where the best teachers, they don't get poached and them gone foreign. And we give them the incentives that they would want to come into a school in my community to see if them can come get these children up to par. Because a lot of times the children that get sent to us to like a school in my community is a children that fall below a certain category, so they really can't cope with an Immaculate or a Campion, and it makes sense to send them there because them can't cope. But you need to get the best teachers for them to come into a community like into these schools, so they could be able for help these children, because children learn at a different level,
Yeah.
Some probably not big at 11, you know. But by the time they reach 13, 14, you know, they're frightened for see. They get a sunburst or something. And
Yeah.
them, you know, and them bust like a baby kite.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
Yeah. We need this apartheid education system. We need it for done. And make it and try to can get the playing field so that all schools are created equal, so all our children can be equal. All right, Brother P.
Well said. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well said. Well said. It is certainly a serious conversation to have when it comes to apartheid education. It's dating way back. It is something that we have to contend with. I want to say something as it relates to nationwide and their agenda. And I know most of us, by now we should know that nationwide they have an agenda. But I want us to be careful that we don't feed into their agenda and allow nationwide to put comrades against each other. I hope you're all getting what I'm saying. Because Damon Crawford, Member of Parliament, did a document, a case study somewhat, or, you know, just a little bit of documentation on Cooper's pen and the history of it and how they got there. And Cliff Hughes couldn't help himself. He had to try and exaggerate it and try and cause animosity. But you know what I told myself, ladies and gentlemen? It doesn't matter who will be challenging who for any leadership. Whatever will be done, will be done. But it is our responsibility to ensure that in the process, the PNP remains united. And we have to also be careful that we don't engage content that is disseminated from our representatives because of narratives that are going around. I believe that it is our responsibility to empower ourselves and to look at it that the release from Damian Crawford, it is still on behalf of the People's National Party. Don't allow nationwide to try and separate Damian Crawford from the PNP. Damian Crawford is a sitting member of Parliament, the opposition spokesperson on education for the People's National Party. And at the end of the day, if the Member of Parliament released a document, right, that sought to educate the masses regarding the history of Cooper's pen, then it is our responsibility, while we ask for him to speak up more on education, because I too am asking for him to be more vocal in that department, we have to still appreciate his contributions to the conversation. I am a Christian, but my knowledge isn't limited to Christianity. Therefore, I can come and tell you about politics and policies because I hold a degree in political science. I have a degree in political science, but I am also a parent. So I can come and tell you about what it means to be a young father I am a young father, but I am also a gospel recording artist, one of the most promising in Jamaica from the younger set. One of those that are leading the charge. Therefore, I can tell you about music, writing songs, production. I'm also a musician, so I can talk about playing the drums and playing the keyboard. I am not limited to any particular area of expertise when I am able to communicate from several areas of experience. So I want persons to we have to identify the agenda of Nationwide. And they will never just say Damian Crawford did a good job with the article that he wrote. They are going to always itch on to it things that is seeking to create division. So we're not focusing on what Nationwide is saying, because they have their agenda. What we will say though, a big baller, yes, why remember say me can play football too. Every time I play football with the boys, I score 2 goal, 4 goal. I'm a purebred striker, so I play up top. Me no run up and down with them. When them pass the ball, give me move past one or two man and me score goal and mash up ball ground. So I can talk about football as well. I prefer to play it than watch it, to be very honest. My father watches football. I don't. I prefer to play it. I'm good at playing it. So I won't demonize Damian Crawford for commenting on the Cooper Pen thing. I want him to talk more about education, and he needs to. But we must appreciate his contributions to the conversation. And I just want our comrades to remember that at the end of the day, it's one People's National Party. I'm not sure how many of us got a chance to read it. It's very short. It's very short. Very short. I read through it, but I believe it is very important that we also take the opportunity to go through the document in your spare time. You won't see everything here. It's just 3 pages. We won't go through it tonight, but I believe it is on his Instagram page. Please read through it. It's a good read. It's a good read. I'm also asking Damian Crawford to release something for education. This is a good idea. You can do other documents as well regarding education. Marie brought up a very excellent point about the apartheid education system. It would be good to hear suggestions as to how we can eliminate the apartheid education system, leveling the playing field for all of our students. Yeah, that is very good. Of course, Mona, I have for all the MPs that I have contacts for. I talk to them, I call them. So what I'm saying now is not nothing that I wouldn't communicate to Crawford. As a matter of fact, he was the one that sent me this, as he would have sent it to many other advocates in the PNP. So, my point for highlighting this is for us to not allow Cliff Hughes and Nationwide to put PNP people against each other. That is their agenda. They want to see a PNP that is not united. We want to maintain the unity in the People's National Party. So this is a good read. I'm encouraging persons to read it. Right? And we also expect more from the opposition spokesperson on education regarding matters affecting our schools, our teachers, our students, and the overall system of education in Jamaica. Because it is atrocious. And that's where I'll leave that, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe if we had more time, I would read through it very quickly because it's an easy read, right? But for those, you can go over to the Instagram and read it. It's a good read. Good history of Cooper's Pen. But ladies and gentlemen, I won't end tonight without playing that clip from Mark Golding about democratic socialism. I don't know, but Mark Golding really and truly reignited a fire within me for democratic socialism. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for us to stand with Mark Golding in echoing the messaging of democratic socialism. I see a Michael Manley in Mark Golding. Even the way how he sounded in this clip, he sounded like Michael Manley. And I smiled and I said, wow, what if Jamaica gave Mark Golding a chance to be Prime Minister? What type of country would we have seen today? But I hear somebody say, God and time. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, and tell me if you're not inspired. Tell me if you don't feel like a true socialist. Tell me if you don't feel as if the People's National Party would bring great success to this country. Listen to this clip, ladies and gentlemen.
Of noise around the reference to democratic socialism in my recent speech. The fabricated headline and opening paragraph of a newspaper article last Saturday were not based on what I actually said. So let me explain the point I was making. I said that all around the world, people are recognizing that they need governments that look after the interests of the people, not governments that primarily serve those who already have power and influence. I cited the dramatic emergence of democratic socialism in US politics as an example of this phenomenon. And when I spoke about transforming Jamaica's economy, I was very clear about what that means. I want an economy that creates opportunities for Jamaicans to progress, build better lives, and achieve their hopes and dreams. This means investing in education and training. It means bringing the private sector and the state together to train young people and upskill workers for jobs that actually exist and those that are coming. It means empowering businesses to prepare our people for those opportunities. That is not about demonizing business. It is about making business, government, and our people partners in building a stronger Jamaica. I believe in private enterprise. I believe in investment. I believe in entrepreneurship. And I believe government has a responsibility to make sure that the economy works for the Jamaican people as a whole, not just the privileged few. The question is simple. What kind of society do we want to build? Well, I want one where the Jamaican people are at the center, where opportunity is broader, and where hard work can lead to a better life and no one is left behind. That is the vision, and that is what I stand for.
The People's National Party believes in the philosophy of no man being left behind. My friend Jamaica Love in the chat bring me to the scripture, to the story of when the young rich ruler went to Jesus thinking that he was so fit to follow Christ. And Jesus recognized that he was still holding on to something. And Jesus said to the young rich ruler, sell everything that you have and give it away to the poor. And the young rich ruler went away sorrowfully. Why? Because his riches was his God. I tell people, if Jesus was alive today and he decided to get involved in the politics and to exercise his franchise to vote, Jamaica would have voted for the socialists. Jesus did not come to represent no rich people and no rich rulers. Jesus came as a poor baby. He came as a humble man, always with the poor, always representing the less fortunate. He didn't come to appease the rich and the mighty. I'm getting a call here. Let me just state this. Caller, you're live. You have to turn me down on the other device. Don't listen to the other device. Mute it and talk to me on the phone.
Very quick.
Yes.
Say that socialism that Mark Golding talking about, that is the socialism that Michael Joshua Manley was trying to pursue for the Jamaican people. I am seeing a Michael Manley in this man Mark Golding.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Bless you. Thank you. The caller just had to call in to confirm. I hear Michael Manley in Mark Golding. I believe that Mark Golding is guided by the vision of Manley. But this is what the Jamaica Labour Party is doing. Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, that democratic socialism is on the rise? And I'm reading from the Northeastern Global News. Democratic socialism is on the rise. And the article's heading was from Colorado to New York. Is democratic socialism on the rise? And they went into their discussions. Yes, democratic socialism is on the rise in my book, ladies and gentlemen, because many young people face severe economic hardships, such as high housing costs and student debt, and view traditional capitalism as failing to provide basic needs. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, democratic socialism is for the young people. How many of us as young people, after leaving university, can go out and just purchase a house after working in a job for a few years? Very few. If you don't come from the rich family where can give you certain things and you inherit certain assets, you can't do it. A lot of us as young people, we still have to be in our parents' houses for long periods of time before we can own a home. But under democratic socialism, you hear when the PNP said last year, rent to own. Democratic socialism is for the young people. This is the movement for young people. All over the world, it is young people that is running with democratic socialism today. Don't allow the Jamaica Labour Party to poison your minds about something that they don't know about. When you think about the skyrocketing rent, expensive real estate, and inflation, these things make everyday life hard for young adults. When you talk about healthcare and debt, lingering student loans, and high medical expenses create constant financial stress. That's why Damian Crawford last year and the PNP said, listen man, the first in the family must get a degree. We will cover that for you. Going back to Michael Manley's democratic socialism that ensured that education was truly free and accessible for all Jamaicans. Democratic socialism is on the rise because there is a growing belief that wealth concentrates at the top while working people struggle. Why is it that we should continue under the Andrew Holness administration where only a few gets to experience true prosperity? But all of us working and toiling every day, we are stagnant. No real financial freedom. This is the reason why all over the world democratic socialism is being adopted. Now, this is what the JLP tries to do. They try to keep us in fear. Same thing Edward Siaga did, you know. They try to create fear among the people. Talking about the Cold War. But the truth is, JLP, you won't be able to succeed at this. Younger generations do not carry the historical stigma or fear of the word socialism linked to the Soviet Union. If the People's National Party leads the conversations regarding democratic socialism, then the young people will not fear socialism. A lot of them don't know what it is. They don't know what it is. They don't know what happened in the 1970s. A lot of them don't even care for politics like me. Me go to university and me go study, so me love it. I can talk about politics every day. But the average young person in this country don't even know what it is. So here is the perfect opportunity for the People's National Party to introduce themselves to young people under the banner of democratic socialism. Show the young people in Jamaica how they will live better lives if they vote for PNP and embrace democratic socialism. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense. I hope persons can feel the passion and see where I'm coming from. And that's why I made a call yesterday. We have to iron out how we communicate to our young people. Now is the time for the youth organization, the PNPYO. Now is the time for you to be communicating to our young people about democratic socialism and how they will stand to benefit. The young people of our generation, they are voting to see how they can benefit. Rent to own, first in the family for degrees. This is our party, young people. The PNP is for young people. Democratic socialism is for us. We are the ones that should be embracing this ideology and shout it from the mountaintops so that other young people can come out of poverty and go into prosperity. Look at what the PNP offered to the young people last year. The manifesto last year was for young people. Why is democratic socialism on the rise? Because right now the popular policy focus, that's what you call it in Pulsi. The popular policy focus is what the world's policies are, or what the world is leaning to from a global standpoint. And the popular policy focus now is campaigns that surrounds popular public goods like universal health care, affordable housing, and child care that is funded by the state, or at least heavily subsidized by the state. That is where the world is going. The GLP is going backward. PNP is moving forward. That is where the world is going. That is where the first world countries are going. JLP is trying socialism, but they cannot do it. So the little social housing projects that you see the Prime Minister do, that's why it is so mediocre and half-hearted. Because their party don't believe in it. A PNP is something that my God, ladies and gentlemen, I can only do so much and no more, you know. But I was given reassurance and assurance that the PNP will be launching some very serious campaigns regarding democratic socialism. And that clip from Mark Golding was the first of many. So I wait to amplify those campaigns from the People's National Party, because this is literally the turning point for the PNP to embrace the youth vote, to embrace the young people and show them that they don't have to struggle. You don't have to struggle. There is a better way. There is a better way. We, the People's National Party, we want to work with you so that you don't have to wait until you're 30 odd, a touch of 40 before you can own a home. You don't have to wait until you're so old in life before you can earn certain assets and live a certain life. That is the messaging, or that should be the messaging of the PNP now. And I promise you, if we embrace it, the election will be easy next time around. Cersei, you're the last caller for tonight. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Listen, blessings to you and the respective family. I was here thinking and say, and I remember when I realized you like politics, and I was saying to myself, God, because you were at UA, and I was saying, I know both parties are there and they will be pushing for you to, become, one of them. And I was saying, my God, I hope you did not choose JLP, because as a Christian, I'm saying to myself, I was thinking, how would you defend the Jamaica Labour Party? With all the things that is happening, as a Christian, I can't understand how a Christian would defend what is happening in the Jamaica Labour Party. I am glad. I'm just asking myself, how Christians, true Christians, can sit around and agree with all of these things that are happening, and debating and trying to say it is okay. I can't understand if these people know God. Yeah, I'm just struggling with it, but I'm glad that they didn't choose them, because I don't know how you defend them. You would have to become a liar, a hypocrite, and all that to defend them. Blessings.
Thank you, Cersei. Thank you. I tell you, we're out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Cersei says he's glad that I chose the PNP, because if I became a Labourite, he wouldn't know how, as a Christian, I could defend them. Couldn't defend them. A lot of the things that are happening now, it's so anti-Christ in its very nature. Not saying that PNP is perfect. Not saying that PNP is perfect. But the PNP and their ideologies, these ideologies are the closest thing to Bible. The ideologies that surrounds democratic socialism, the philosophy, these ideologies, they are the closest things to biblical principles. And nobody's seen that. It's the closest thing to Bible. It is the closest thing to Bible. Why would God have a problem with free healthcare, free education? Why would God have a problem with you helping the poor and ensuring that wealth is distributed equally so that everybody can benefit? Why would God have a problem with that? And that's why for me, ladies and gentlemen, I prefer to work with the PNP. If there are any crushed places, we will iron it out. But I prefer to work with the PNP. Because when I look at the policies of the People's National Party, these policies are the closest things to biblical principles and the way that Jesus Christ walked while he was here on earth. Jesus always remembered the poor, always regarded the poor, always sat with the poor, always feeding the poor. Clearly it wouldn't have been the rich people that Jesus was feeding. The 5,000 people are 5,000 poor people. The rich people never have to sit down and wait upon Jesus to turn 5 loaves and 2 fishes and multiply it. Always with the poor. It was the way of Christ. So when I come here day after day, ladies and gentlemen, as a man of God, a preacher of the word, a gospel recording artist, when I come here and defend democratic socialism and the People's National Party, it is because when I study this thing, it is the closest thing to Christ in Jamaica. And that is Bible. I'm out of time. At 3 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, join me for Clarion Call. And at 6 p.m. tomorrow for our evening program. Let us pray. Father, we give you thanks for your mercies. We give you thanks for another informative session. We thank you for the viewers. A listener I remembered supporting the super chat tonight. Return unto her 100-fold. Bless her and her family. We pray for hurricane victims, people who are homeless. We pray for our leaders on both sides, that Lord, you will shake up and wake up, do a work in this country so that Jamaica can increase in beauty, fellowship and prosperity. Lord, we know what the Bible represents. We know what you stood for and still stands for. Even while you were here on earth, when we look at the life of our Christ, you were here and you showed us how we should live. That is all that we want to do. To live the way in which you lived. Walk the way you walked. Talk the way you talk. And if it means, therefore, we have to, from a government point of view, inject that Christ-like mentality of governance among our people, then we must do it. Because that is certainly what you would have wanted. For us to remember the poor, to help the less fortunate, to feed them, to clothe them, to give access to those who cannot do it on their own. That is the way of Christ. So, Father, we give you thanks for your mercies and your grace. These and other mercies we ask of you. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sticking and staying with me. Remember to like up the live if you have not yet touched the like button. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. I'll see you on Clarion Call. I normally have a meeting at 6 p.m. but it may be done online. I'll let you know. But tomorrow at 3 p.m. for sure. Until then, bye-bye for now.
Perspective family. Big up yourself every time Perry the General. Go and do it, comrade. The word is love. Where we are go do? Police them a kill off, use the tree on the roads. Where we are go do? The price gone up on the JLP let loose. Where we are go do? Times hard and politicians don't have a clue. Where we are go do? Where we are go do? Aye, time for trust and keep the faith to help us win this race. Poor people now no food, all them see a empty plate. And the rich them getting richer, them fi burn up in the lake. Promises they make, but enough of them are fake. But black love divide, put politics aside. A time for we unite, a time for do the right. We have to start by speaking truth and not the lie. Perry set the trend, we have to all unite. Pressure it a boil, farmers them a toil. And all our work them no see nothing at all. We can't segregate, we can't separate. Put aside the war, time for love not it. Pressure it a boil, farmers them a toil. And all our work them no see nothing at all. We can't segregate, we can't separate. Put aside the war, time for love not it.